What if I told you that the device your child holds every day, that seemingly harmless smartphone, might silently become the deadliest threat to their mental health? Over 4,000 American children were followed for 4 years by top neuroscientists. The shocking result? It's not drugs, alcohol, or bullying causing the most harm, but rather the addictive use of social media, smartphones, and video games quietly pushing teens toward depression, anxiety, and even suicide. This is not clickbait fear-mongering. What you're about to hear is based on one of the largest longitudinal studies ever conducted on adolescent brain development, recently published in the world-renowned journal, the New England Journal of Medicine. I've spent days analyzing this 30-page study, interpreting the data from over 21 leading research centers across the U.S. In this video, you'll discover why it's the increasing pattern of screen use, not the total time, that's so dangerous. The 3 early warning signs most parents miss during adolescence. And scientifically proven habits to reverse these risks and protect the mental health of our youth. If you're a parent, teacher, or simply concerned about the future mental health of younger generations, this video might be one of the most important you'll ever watch. Lisa, a bright 10-year-old girl from California, was every parent's dream. Excellent grades, gifted pianist, and always polite. Her parents were thrilled that she wasn't into partying or risky behavior, spending most of her free time at home on her brand-new smartphone. A birthday gift. At first, everything seemed innocent, texting friends, posting cute photos, playing harmless games. But within just 18 months, subtle changes appeared. Lisa became moody, irritable, socially withdrawn, and struggled with sleep and appetite. Her parents dismissed it as normal teenage mood swings. But they were wrong. By 13, Lisa's emotional state collapsed into severe depression. She frequently called herself worthless, couldn't sleep, and even began writing in her diary about not wanting to live. Sadly, Lisa is far from alone. What the research revealed. In 2025, the New England Journal of Medicine published a groundbreaking study following 4,285 American youths, average age 10, as part of the Adolescent Brain Cognitive Development Study, 2016 to 2022, spanning 21 sites across the U.S. The researchers didn't initially set out to prove that screen addiction leads to suicide. They simply wanted to observe the trajectories of digital media use, social media, mobile phones, and video games. Yet, what they discovered shocked even the scientists. 31.3% of children showed increasing addictive use of social media. 24.6% showed increasing addictive use of smartphones. 17.5% consistently exhibited high video game usage. But here's the most terrifying part. Total screen time at baseline wasn't directly linked to depression or suicide. It was the growth trajectory, how fast and how much screen use increased year after year, that drove mental health risks. Why growth trajectory matters more than total screen time. Imagine a teenager's brain as fertile ground where neural pathways rapidly develop during puberty. Excessive exposure to highly stimulating digital platforms rewires the reward system. The more they use, the more they crave, dopamine tolerance effect. Real-world activities no longer provide sufficient pleasure. Feelings of emptiness emerge when away from the screen. Social comparison on platforms fuels self-doubt and inadequacy. Over time, this emotional imbalance builds into chronic anxiety, low self-esteem, social withdrawal, and eventually, suicidal ideation for some. This explains why even low daily screen use initially can become catastrophic if allowed to escalate unchecked over years. Let's now look into the raw scientific data. Study demographics. Sample size: 4,285 participants from 21 U.S. research centers. Mean age, 10.0 years. Standard deviation, 0.6 years. Gender and ethnicity breakdown: 47.9% female, 9.9% Black, 19.4% Hispanic, 58.7% white. They monitored addictive usage patterns for social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, mobile phones, texting, browsing, streaming, apps, video games, both console and mobile platforms. Let's now look into the raw scientific data. Study demographics. Sample size: 4,285 participants from 21 U.S. research centers. Mean age: 10.0 years. Standard deviation: 0.6 years. Gender and ethnicity breakdown: O 47.9% female, O 9.9% Black, O 19.4% Hispanic, O 58.7% white. They monitored addictive usage patterns for social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, mobile phones, texting, browsing, streaming, apps, video games, both console and mobile platforms. Identified usage trajectories. Through latent class linear mixed models, researchers classified media use into distinct trajectories. Social media: increasing addictive use, 31.3%, high peaking addictive use, smaller percentage but higher risk. Mobile phones: increasing addictive use, 24.6%. Video games: stable high use trajectory, approximately 17 to 18%. Mental health correlations. The findings were stark. For increasing social media addiction, suicidal behavior risk increased 2.14 times. 95% confidence interval, 1.61 to 2.85. For high-peaking social media addiction, suicidal behavior risk increased 2.39 times. 95% confidence interval, 1.66 to 3.43. For high video game addiction, significant increase in internalizing symptoms like anxiety, depression, T-score difference 2.03, 95% confidence interval 1.45 to 2.61. For increasing social media addiction, externalizing symptoms, increase in externalizing behaviors like aggression, emotional dysregulation, T-score difference 1.05, 95% confidence interval 0.54 to 1.56. Key takeaway: it's not about how much screen time a child starts with. It's about how quickly and steadily that usage grows. After looking at this massive and alarming body of scientific data, the biggest question is, what can we do to protect the next generation? The good news is, no one is born addicted to screens. It's the environment, habits, and lack of healthy guidance that put children at risk. And that means we have the power to intervene early and make a difference. Internalizing versus externalizing symptoms. Internalizing: anxiety, depression, hopelessness, withdrawal. Externalizing: irritability, aggression, outbursts, loss of behavioral control. Both symptom types correlated with rising addictive screen use, but video games triggered more internalizing effects, while social media fueled externalizing behaviors. Summary of what? It's the continuous growth in screen use that silently reprograms the developing adolescent brain, amplifying suicide risk, emotional instability, and behavioral disorders. Internalizing versus externalizing symptoms. Internalizing: anxiety, depression, hopelessness, withdrawal. Externalizing: irritability, aggression, outbursts, loss of behavioral control. Both symptom types correlated with rising addictive screen use, but video games triggered more internalizing effects, while social media fueled externalizing behaviors. It's the continuous growth in screen use that silently reprograms the developing adolescent brain, amplifying suicide risk, emotional instability, and behavioral disorders. 6 actionable steps based on the research. 1. Don't focus on total screen time. Track growth over time. Parents often fixate on daily hours, but trajectory matters more than total hours. Log weekly or monthly usage to spot rising trends. 2. Establish device-free zones and times, especially 1 hour before bedtime, during meals, during homework, family conversation time. These breaks allow emotional regulation and help reset natural dopamine cycles. 3. Promote real-world social interaction. Outdoor activities and face-to-face peer interaction strengthen natural brain rewards. Team sports, family outings without devices, board games, and cooperative in-person activities. 4. Teach responsible digital literacy. Teens should understand social comparison bias online, learn to fact-check information, know how to report harmful content. No one's life is as perfect as their Instagram feed makes it look. 5. Build a parent-as-partner culture, not just supervision. Join your child's digital world. Co-watch, co-play, co-discuss. Turn technology into collaborative learning experiences. Goal: foster open dialogue so your child feels safe sharing struggles. 6. Seek professional help early for signs of depression. Watch for warning signs lasting beyond 2 weeks. Chronic insomnia, appetite changes, irritability, emotional volatility, repeated negative self-talk, withdrawing from friends. Don't delay. Early intervention saves lives. Technology is not the enemy, but unchecked escalation of its use is. The scariest part of screen addiction isn't how many hours your child uses their phone today, but how quickly that number grows year after year, silently. Like Lisa, many teens slide from innocent use into depression, anxiety, and even suicidal thoughts within just a few short years. Create tension if they stop here. And the even more frightening truth? Social media isn't even the most dangerous factor. New studies show video game addiction may pose even greater risks for adolescent brain development. What to do next? If you care about your child's future, don't miss our next video. The shocking truth about how video games are rewiring adolescent brains. Click right here. Don't forget to hit subscribe to stay informed with trustworthy medical insights that help protect your family's mental health.